Hello everyone, I'm Sophia from English faculty. Today I'm going to explain about the transitive intransitive verbs. This is in continuation with the previous lesson. Now, last time we read that the action verb is divided into two as main verb and the helping verb. So today specifically I'm going to explain in detail about the main verb. Main verbs are further divided into two as transitive verb and intransitive verb. Now, what's the major difference between transitive verb and intransitive is the addition and deletion of the object. Okay. So, in case of transitive verb, okay, in case of transitive verb, we have the other day as we discussed, there's going to be subject. In case of transitive verb, we have subject plus verb plus object. Now, the simple sentence I'll give so that you will be able to understand better. For example, Rohan is eating an apple. Now, in this sentence, let us analyze to understand transitive verb better. Okay, so Rohan is the doer of the action here. So Rohan is the subject here. Is is the helping verb. We are not much concerned about it now. Eating. Okay, so eating is the main verb here. Since we are discussing about the main verb, so eating is the main verb here, and object is an apple. Okay. So another example, it could be like Priya is cooking biryani. Now, same way, Priya would be the subject, cooking would be the verb, and biryani would be the object. So, in case of transitive verb, we have the subject, we have the verb, and we have the object. Now, next, moving on to intransitive. There isn't much difference, but only thing is we avoid the object here. I'll give you one example here. In case of in case of the intransitive verb, I'll give you a sentence. Same. Rohan eats, or Priya is cooking. Now, let us not worry as of now about the tenses here. Rohan eats. This is in simple present, and Priya is cooking is simple present continuous. Okay, so what we are concerned here is the subject here, and we have the verb. This is the subject, and we have the verb, and object is missing. Okay, similarly here, Priya is cooking. Now, Priya is the subject here, cooking is the verb, main verb, and here we don't know what she's cooking. Okay, so this is just to say that what the doers, the subject is, what kind of actions they are doing. So, in case of intransitive verb, Rohan eats or Rohan eats breakfast or Rohan eats at 2 o'clock, whatever it can be. But here we are just presenting only the subject and the verb here. Same way, Priya is cooking. So, this gives sense. Okay, this is grammatically correct. but it's not giving extra information. So in case of intransitive verb, extra information is missing. Okay, so we have an idea about the subject, we have an idea about the verb, what kind of verb is being done by the subject. We do not have the complete idea about the object. So I would like to just read it out and you can also take down. Transitive verb, that is, sentence contains subject, verb, and object. Okay, in short, you can sum up as subject plus verb plus object. That's what we said. For example, Priya is cooking biryani, or Rajesh is flying kites. Okay. Now here we have example. Shiva is studying in his room. Now, Shiva happens to be the subject in the sentence. Studying is the verb and room is the object. Similarly, you can have one more sentence like Rani is drawing a picture. Okay. So, Rani is drawing a picture. Not necessary all the time we have to use in his room. Instead, it can be just let me give you an example here. Rani is drawing a picture. Now here we have Rani as subject, drawing as the main verb, and a picture here. Picture is the object here. So sometimes children may get confused, okay, that it is object is only regarding the place. No, it can be even like Leela is eating a burger, or Leela is eating an ice cream. So the object can be anything. It can be a place or it can be even a picture. Okay. And another example, similarly, I'll give you. For example, Roja is drawing water from the well. I repeat, Roja is drawing water from the well. So Roja happens to be the subject, drawing happens to be the main verb, and well happens to be the object. So I hope I'm clear now. The object is not necessary. It can be a picture or pizza, eraser, pencil. It can also be a place. Now, intransitive verb, a sentence contains subject and verb and there is no object. Let me highlight on that. In case of intransitive verb, there is subject, there is verb, but there is no object. Object is missing. That is, it gives partial information about the subject and what the subject is doing. Okay, so here we have example, the same sentence, Shiva studied. Okay. Now the tense is simple past. Okay. Studied. Past tense of study is studied. So here we have the subject here and studied is the verb. So object is missing over here. So this happens in case of intransitive. I would like to make it very clear. In case of transitive verb, we have the subject, we have the verb, we have the object. But in case of intransitive verb, we have only the subject and the main verb. Then we move on to the helping verb. Okay. So as I have discussed earlier and explained briefly about the kinds of verbs, main verb and the helping verb. Now coming to the helping verbs. Okay. So let us know the characteristics of the helping verb. Helping verbs comes before a main verb. Okay. Now here I would like to give an example. Okay. Now, for example, Rani is drawing a picture here. Okay. Now, in case of this, we have is. Okay, we have is. Now, is the helping verb, and this is the main verb. Okay, so this is the helping verb. So it gives extra meaning to the sentence. This being the main verb, this is the main verb, and this is the helping verb. Is the helping verb. It gives us additional information about main verb. Okay, so is giving extra information as in when the action takes place, present, past, and future. Now, I can also have as Rani was drawing a picture or Rani will be drawing a picture. So, I have given you example for the present, past, and the future tense. Rani is drawing a picture is present tense. Rani was drawing a picture. It falls under past tense. Rani will be or Rani is going to draw a picture, future tense. So, helping verb will also help us in knowing the time. That is whether this action has taken place in the past, present, or the future. And helping verbs are also known as auxiliaries. I repeat, helping verbs are also known as auxiliaries. Now, helping verb, we commonly use it. And this, now there are two types of helping verbs. There are primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. I repeat, there are two kinds of helping verbs. They are primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. Okay, so now let us study about the primary auxiliary. I repeat once again, under helping verbs, again it is classified into two as primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary. So now I'm going to briefly explain about the primary auxiliary. Now examples for primary auxiliary are is, am, are, being. Okay. Now for example, Priya is sleeping. Now Priya is sleeping. So here the primary auxiliary is. Okay. Now Priya is, this also indicates the tense. Okay. So I'm sure you are able to guess this is in the present tense. Same way I can substitute this with was. Priya was sleeping. Again, this is the other example, but in the past tense. So we also have was here. Okay. Now, Priya is a singular subject. I repeat, Priya is a singular subject. Now, it can be maybe a family or it can be group of friends. So the subject would be we. So in case of this, we are laughing. This would be another example. We, okay, this being the subject, are, this is the helping verb, and this is the main verb. Okay, so here we have in the plural form. Okay, so this we have to be very clear. When the subject is singular, we find we use is, and when the subject is plural, the verb also, helping verb also changes accordingly. So it is we are laughing. Now, other example, I am happy. Now, I am, so again, I become the singular person, okay? And they are eating. For example, now being is the other form of be, okay? Now, was is the past tense of is, okay? And were is the past tense of are. So, according to the subject, the verb also will differ. Do, does, did, doing. So now, do generally we use it for the simple present. Okay, and the same way, does. For example, Raju does his homework in the evening. Okay, now do we use it whenever we want to give instruction, like you do get up early in the morning, or you do go for a walk, or do not eat junk food. Okay, so mostly it's used for the general instruction, and does is for the simple present. Did we use it whenever we want to indicate the action of the past, and doing is the present continuous, or it can be past continuous. This is in the continuous form. Then we also have had. Now, where do we use had? Okay, for example, singular object. Okay, now the subject, for example, I'll give you, she had eaten her lunch, or I had become very tired. Okay, so the verb will change. I told you regarding subject verb agreement, which I'm going to discuss in the future classes. Okay, so when the subject is singular, we use had here. Now, same way, has also goes along with the subject when it is singular. For example, she has finished her homework, or he has finished cleaning his room. Now have. Now have can be used both by the singular subject and the plural. For example, singular one, I'll give you, I have finished my work. I had finished my work. Now I have finished my work. So when we use have, it shows us that that work has been recently completed, and it comes under the present tense. Same way, when I use the plural subject, for example, they have reached home. Okay, so I want to just make it clear. Now, certain verbs, for example, is used, helping verb is used with the singular subject. Whereas in case of certain words like have, now were, the same way they have reached home. So I want to just tell you, though it is used in present tense, but have goes with the singular subject, have goes also with the plural subject. For example, we have gathered at the park, okay? Or we have finished cooking. Yeah, so any kind of verb can be substituted. So just remember and make it a point to remember that have can be used in the present tense, and both with the singular subject and the plural subject. Similarly, we have modal auxiliary. Okay, helping verb. One is the primary auxiliary. Now, next one is the modal auxiliary. Okay, so we say like, I can do it, or they will do it, or she would be sleeping now, or they need to. Okay, and ought to. Need to is we tell that it's a must. Ought to, it gives us the instruction, that is the rules and regulations. For example, children ought to respect their elders. Now, let me give you example for each one. Okay. Now, can, okay. Children can work hard, or children can eat healthy diet. Okay. I could have called up several times, but I just tried only once. Should. Okay. We should go for a walk every day, or I should avoid spices. Food, food would be the past tense of will. So, for example, she would reach school on time, or I would like to invite my guest. Same way, will. Now, will, would, it indicates future tense. For example, I will eat, say, a fruit every day, or they will arrive here anytime. Same way, need to. Need to, it's a condition. It tells that we need to dress up neatly, or we need to work hard in order to succeed. Okay, ought to have covered up. Must. Okay, must is children must trim their nails. Okay, children must obey their parents. Might. Now, might tells the possibility. For example, it might rain. Okay, the weather is cloudy, so it might rain. Then may again indicates the possibility here. So she may reach on time, or she may get delayed. Okay, shall. Now, shall is a very formal use of will. So, I shall distribute sweets on my birthday, or I shall cook for everybody this Sunday. Okay. So, shall indicates the future. Now, same way we Okay, so we have completed the main verb and also the helping verb. The helping verbs are of two kinds, mainly as the auxiliary ones, primary auxiliary and the modal auxiliary. Okay, primary auxiliary and the modal auxiliary. Once again, I would like to go on with the examples of helping verb. Primary auxiliary is, am, are, being, was, were, do, does, did, doing, had, has, have, having. Now, modal auxiliary can, could, should, would, will, need to, ought to, must, might, may, shall, etc. It goes on. Okay. So I'm sure you have understood about the kinds of main verbs and the kinds of helping verbs. Now, see if we have really understood. Okay. So here is the worksheet. We'll go one by one. The first one, identify the helping verb from the following options. Okay. I repeat, identify the helping verb from the following options. So, helping verb, we know it is not the main verb. It gives extra information for the sentence and for the main verb. Okay, the options are ran, was, will, both A and B. Okay, so here the only helping verb is was. Okay, so was is the correct answer. Okay, so was is the correct answer here. Okay, because was is the past tense of is. And then second one, fill in the blank with appropriate verb. Seema dash come home tomorrow at 5 p.m. I repeat, fill in the blank with appropriate verb. Seema dash come home tomorrow at 5 p.m. Okay, is, were, would, will. Now, Seema dash come home tomorrow at 5 p.m. Now, here tomorrow indicates, okay, tomorrow indicates that it's not going to happen now. It did not happen in the past, but it's going to happen in the future, that is tomorrow. So, obviously, from these choices, it's going to be will. Okay. Seema will come home tomorrow at 5 p.m. I'm sure even you have guessed the answer correctly. Third one, identify the transitive verb from the following option. Okay. Identify the transitive verb from the following options. First one is Sita can dance. Sita can dance. So here, this is the model. This is the main verb. Okay. Now, in case of transitive, yes, I know you guessed right. Yes. In case of transitive verb, we need an object. So now object is missing here. Sita is the subject here. This is the modal or the helping verb, and dance is the main verb. So this sentence is ruled out. Now, second, let us see. Sita will cook. Okay, so we analyze. Sita is the subject, will is the modal verb, okay, and cook is the main verb. So there is no object here. So this also is ruled out. One, okay, this is supposed to be C. Sita was studying in the room. Children, please correct it. This should be the C option, okay. This should be C and this should be D. Sita was studying in the room. Sita is the subject. Was is the helping verb, right? Studying is the main verb, room. Okay. Now this happens to be the object. So this is the correct sentence. So this is the transitive sentence. Okay. The fourth one. Okay. I would like to read and give you some time to guess the correct answer. Okay. Identify the main verb from the following options. Identify the main verb from the following options. Okay. Run. You all know run, run. Okay, so that's the main verb. Hop, you know what is hopping? It's not jumping, but taking a small jump, right? You all know very well what is right. All of these. Okay, so identify the main verb from the following options. So run is correct. Okay, so run is correct. Hop is correct. Right is correct. And what does the fourth option say? All of these. Yes, okay. So because all A, B, C are correct, okay. So this would be the correct answer. All of these. Run is the action word, hop is the action word, and right also is an option word. Okay, very good. Good guess. The fifth one. Now, before I read it, please you can also try it out. Identify the modal auxiliary from the following options. I repeat, identify the modal auxiliary from the following options. Okay. Does does it come under that? Could, was,